All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something you hear all the time, cloud computing. And here's the thing you might not realize, you're probably using it like right now. Almost every single second you're online. So let's dig into what that actually means. Seriously, just think about it for a sec. Where are your emails, your photos, the movie you streamed last night? I mean, they're not really on your phone, right? Not all of them anyway. And they're definitely not just floating around in the air. So, where are they?
Well, the short answer is they're in the cloud. But here's the most important thing to get your head around. The cloud isn't really a place. The best way to think about it is as a utility. Yeah, like electricity. You plug your lamp into the wall to get power, right? In the same way, you plug into the cloud to get computing power. Honestly, if you get that one idea, you're going to understand everything that follows.
Okay, so if it's not some fluffy white thing in the sky, what is it? It's a delivery service, a method of delivery. But delivering what exactly?
All right, here's the textbook definition. Cloud computing is all about getting computing services. We're talking servers, storage, software, the whole shebang, delivered to you over the internet. So instead of buying a huge server and sticking it in your closet, or installing a program directly onto your computer's hard drive, you're just accessing it from somewhere else. You're basically renting it. You're tapping into a service.
Okay, so not just any old internet service gets to call itself cloud computing. There are actually a few specific rules it has to follow. You can think of these as, well, the ground rules that make this whole computing as electricity idea actually work.
So there are 5 key characteristics here. We've got on-demand self-service, broad network access, resource pooling, but you know what? To really nail that utility analogy, I want to focus on 2 that are just perfect. Rapid elasticity and measured service. Let's dive into those.
First up, rapid elasticity. Sounds complicated, but it's not. All it means is that you can get way more power, instantly, whenever you need it. And then you can scale back down just as fast. Think about it, hottest day of the summer, right? Everyone in the city cranks up their AC at the exact same time. The power grid doesn't just collapse, it handles that massive surge in demand. The cloud does the exact same thing for computing. If, say, a website suddenly goes viral and gets 1 million visitors, the cloud can just expand and give it more power so it doesn't crash. It's amazing.
And that leads us right to the second one, measured service. This one is absolutely crucial. It's just like the electricity meter on the side of your house. The cloud provider measures exactly how much computing power you use, and you only get a bill for that amount. That's it. You're not paying for some giant expensive server to just sit there doing nothing most of the time. You only pay for what you actually use. It's a total game changer in terms of efficiency.
Okay, so we've established that you can plug into this computing utility. The next logical question is, what kind of power can you actually get? What's on tap? Well, it turns out there's a whole menu of options, really, depending on what you're trying to do.
It basically breaks down into 3 big categories, or layers. At the very foundation, you have IaaS, or Infrastructure as a Service. Think of this as getting the raw materials from the power company, just the virtual servers, the storage, the bare-bones wiring. Then, one level up, you've got PaaS, Platform as a Service. This is like being given a fully equipped workshop. You've got all the tools and the framework you need to build and run your applications without worrying about the underlying wiring. And finally, at the top, you have SaaS, Software as a Service. These are the finished products, the appliances you just plug in and use. We're talking about stuff like Zoom or Google Docs. You don't build it, you just use it.
Right, so you've got this menu of services you can order up. But where's the actual power plant? Where's all this computing horsepower actually coming from? Well, you've got a few different ways you can set it up.
First, there's the public cloud. This is exactly like the main electrical grid that serves everyone. It's absolutely massive, it's shared by millions and millions of customers, and it's run by a huge provider. Think Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, or Google Cloud. On the other hand, a big company might decide to build a private cloud. Sticking with our analogy, this is like a huge factory deciding, you know what, we're going to build our own private power generator right here on site. It's only for them, nobody else can use it, and it gives them total control.
And as you might have guessed, you can also have a hybrid cloud. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's a mix. It lets you connect your private power generator to the main public grid. So you can keep your really sensitive stuff on your private system, but then tap into the massive power of the public cloud when you have a big surge in demand. For a lot of businesses, it's really the best of both worlds.
So that brings us to the big question, why? Why has this whole cloud model completely taken over the entire tech industry? I mean, what's the big deal? Why is renting this power so much better than just building your own digital power plant?
Well, it really all boils down to that one core idea. You're plugging into a huge, professionally managed grid instead of trying to do everything yourself. Think about it. That makes it way more cost-effective. It's more reliable because these companies have teams of experts keeping the lights on 24/7. It's often more secure. And of course, it's incredibly scalable and accessible from literally anywhere with an internet connection. You're not tied to one physical building.
So, let's bring it all home. The single biggest thing to remember from all this is that the cloud isn't a place. It's not a thing you can point to. It's a model. It's a totally new and, frankly, way more efficient way of delivering and using computing power.
And it all circles back to that one truly revolutionary idea. You pay only for what you use. That's it. That simple concept is what changed computing from a product, something you had to buy and own, into a utility, a service that anyone can just tap into. It's what made all of this powerful technology accessible to pretty much everyone.
And that leaves us with one final question to chew on. Think about it. 100 years ago, electricity was a miracle. Today, we don't even think about it. It's just there. Computing is rapidly becoming the same thing. So it makes you wonder, what's next? What technology that seems incredibly complex and expensive today is going to be the next simple, invisible utility that we all take for granted tomorrow?